All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the year-end episode of Barstool Backstage, recapping 2023. What an unremarkable year it was. We do have a great interview today with Modest Yahoo, surprise guest, unbelievable conversation. I don't think we're going to be able to use it for YouTube because his internet was tough. I know you guys were on that call. He was dropping off a lot, but a really, really great conversation with a fucking legend. We got Robbie Fox in the building for the year end. I think you did this last year too, Robbie. How you doing?
Did
buddy?
I like that? A little tradition. I like starting traditions here.
There you
go. On the guest list. Yeah. See what I did there? Kind of.
I did. That's all you motherfucker.
We're on the guest list on Barstool Backstage. Yeah. I'm glad to be here. Glad to catch up with you guys always.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Dave, how are you, big guy?
I'm hungry. I'm about to dip for lunch. It's great seeing you guys. You know.
The raw bar.
I'm great. Dude. You know, it's funny. A few people just assume I'm miserable because the sports that I follow make me miserable, and I get it. However, food is that's what gets me. That's what makes my soul happy. And I'm about to go have a bomb ass lunch somewhere in Chicago. I've never been. I looked up the menu and it is pricey. I'm not paying for it.
Who gives a fuck? Get that can of caviar like you wanted to do at Maple and Ash or where the fuck we were, dude.
Dave with his miserable sports teams is like me with like music.
It literally is like you with music.
Like we can go out, Dave, we got to go out for dinner sometime. I look forward to that so much.
Oh,
just
Johnny,
being happy.
Can I tell you, Johnny, as somebody who's been to dinner now with David, it's a good time.
It's a good fucking time.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
Just order the menu. This is like, I get into this argument with people all the time. If I'm going out to eat, money's fake to me. It doesn't matter. Order the entire fucking menu.
We've been to enough label dinners. That's what it's like.
Yeah. Dave sat down and we got they gave us caviar and fucking French onion dip at the table. And then Dave goes, we should get a whole can of caviar. And Dante was like, Dave, are you paying for this shit?
I didn't pay for that meal. That was a $1,300 meal.
We already had caviar on the table. That was the point. He's like, what do you, there's already caviar here. He's like, let's get the big one.
Paid $1,300 for dinner?
Yeah, it was an expensive dinner, and I covered that shit.
My favorite label dinner that we did was we had just signed with Sony, like publishing side, and the guy that signed us high up A&R takes us out for like the celebratory dinner. He doesn't know that we're all vegetarian at the time. And he takes us to some place in New York that ended up being great because like everywhere in New York's good, whether you're vegetarian or whatever. You can go to a steakhouse and eat good as a vegetarian in New York. But he takes us to some place. I was called like the Spotted Pig, but it might have been called like we're stabbing an animal bloody steak in your face restaurant. And we're like, hey, and the look of disappointment on his face was worth everything. Like
he regretted signing you guys right away. He was like,
not that. He was not disappointment in us. Just like he's like, oh, I fucked up because some artists are like super anal about that shit. Like I don't give a fuck, but he was like, oh my god, what did I do?
But Johnny, you eat fish, right?
Yeah, I started eating some fish lately.
What about shellfish?
Pescatarian?
Like,
is that what they call that?
Count to me.
Yeah, I'll eat some shellfish. I'm not about crazy about all the stuff I've been eating, but I'll eat some.
Well,
I can. Are you asking if I can eat a bucket of caviar? we can do that.
Beautiful.
Oh no, I can see the thing. Like I wouldn't. I'm this hypocritical. Like I don't like eating a cow. Like I like cows, you know.
Oh yeah, I guess that's fair.
Like cow's a nice animal.
You love steak.
But I will eat the shit out of steak. Like I can see if you were like, no, I'm not doing it. Like a shellfish or a fish, like they don't have personality or anything, you know.
100%.
None of the ones I've met.
Dante, what's up, buddy?
Hey guys, sorry.
You're good.
What's up?
Welcome to the year-end episode. We're talking about shellfish versus cows.
I like to offer different perspectives with my camera. That's my new. I'm going to just switch to serious Johnny, not serious Johnny.
Jesus Christ!
I didn't realize we were on Johnny's stream, so I kept going on Kenny's like 15 different times. I spent the last 15 minutes going to Kenny's thing. Then I went to the one from yesterday that we were on, and finally looked at the group chat. And
good move.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
Smart man. Let's start talking about 2023. A weird year in music, a weird year in life. I thought we'd start by just running over some weird shit that happened over the year, and that has nothing to do with music. I'll actually start with something from music. Do you remember Oliver Anthony? Remember when that shit happened?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! What happened to that guy?
CIA
Is
recalled
that
him.
the Richmond?
Johnny.
Yeah,
that's it,
What
Richmond,
happened
yeah.
is what everybody thought was going to happen. Nothing. You know, fucking
Dude.
not a thing.
I will
Anybody
never.
with the brain thought that.
I will never forget the moment where I went from
What?
being like, "This dude's the fucking man," to then listening to the second verse of the song and being like, "Whoa, buddy, hold the fuck up."
Question.
Good.
Do you think he's regretting turning down those record deals now?
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. He's just over there smoking mids in the woods now. He has nothing going on, just hanging the fuck out.
Talk about when keeping it real goes wrong.
He was like, I don't need a record deal. Now he's poor. And he's like, God,
Dude, he's
damn
on to
it.
the next mission, Splinter Cell version 3. He's going to show up in like England and pose as a rapper singing about political issues or something.
Bro, M.R was my next thing. The fucking white reggaeton guy who went crazy on TikTok. That is my favorite moment of the year by far. He's one of my goals for 2024 to have on the podcast. That's all I want is that guy on the podcast. I want to follow him around England for a day. Another thing, I just looked up random shit that happened in 2023. Guys, remember when that fucking submarine exploded? It tried to go to Titanic?
That was a big thing.
Yeah.
Titanic, yeah.
That was
Imploded.
imploded. Excuse me, Dante. I'm glad that you're here to be able to correct me on the implosion versus explosion. So it contracted like a soda can.
Yep.
Disgusting. The memes for that were an all-time moment this year. Like the fact that we're all going to hell for the fact that we made fun of a bunch of people who died at the bottom of the ocean.
Bro.
Go ahead, Dante.
Dude, I didn't want to spoil this in my blog, but I'll spoil it on here. I went and saw Tony Hinchcliffe at Chicago Theater
Oh, nice.
this summer. He is so fucking funny.
He's an evil bastard.
He started his show out. He came out, crowd's going fucking crazy. I didn't realize his fans are like that psychotic.
Mm-hmm.
He waits for him to die down. There's a stool on stage, nothing else. He grabs the stool and he starts dragging it across the stage really slowly. And it's like, and everyone's like, what the fuck? And they start like nervous laughing. And he stops and he goes, can you guys believe that was the last sound all those people on that submarine heard before they died?
Jesus Christ.
So everyone starts laughing. Then he goes, and can you believe they paid $250,000 for that shit? He goes, imagine what a round trip would have cost.
Dude, I've seen him a bunch
so
live.
good.
He does his. I haven't been yet, but he hosts his live podcast out here in Austin. I wanted
Kill
to go
Tony.
check out. Yeah,
it's
Kill
fucking
Tony.
awesome.
Yeah, he's brutal. It's awesome to see comedians that are still like not just like offensive. Like a lot of comedians, have you seen this thing everyone does now? They're like, don't back away from me to the crowd in their specials. Like, dude, no one's backing away from you. You're not saying that crazy shit. He's one of those dudes where like people actually do like get up and leave, which is awesome.
He's the man, dude. That is the one reason I really want to come to Austin because I want to go.
The one
Kill
reason,
Tony.
fuck you, you fucking piece of
It's the
shit.
one
You know what-
reason I want to go to Austin, dude. Besides that, do you guys remember when a Senate staffer from the Democrats had butt sex on the fucking floor of the Senate and then filmed it and put it out? That happened last week. That was fucking crazy. It's been a really weird year. Was there anything else like big that I'm missing here? Like, did anybody die that we like, missed?
I just read today that Kanye's having trouble selling his like Bel Air mansion that he has spent the last year turning into like a prepping bomb shelter for the Holocaust or the nuclear Holocaust. So it's got no electricity and no windows, and he's like pissed off that he can't get his money back for it. So
Dude,
I read that today. That made me laugh. That might be
Imagine
my
being his
favorite moment
kids.
of the year.
Imagine being his kids and going to hang out with dad, and you're in his fucking windowless.
Imagine
electric.
being North.
That's true, I guess. Good
Imagine,
point.
yeah, imagine preferring to hang out with Kim.
Jesus Christ, dude.
There was that alien in Mexico. Remember that? They were,
Oh
like,
my
checking
God,
out
there was
our-
alien. Yeah, there was like fucking
was a big
mummified
moment.
aliens.
Yeah.
The fact that that's not like top line news that they prove it. Like, first off, prove that there was aliens, but like the U.S. government said, "Yo, we got aliens," and nobody was like, "All right, cool." We were all just like, "Whatever, I don't give a fuck, dude." None
I'm
of us can
curious
afford
what's
to buy
going to happen
groceries.
and like what's the plan in 5 to 10 years with them aliens? Like if they're dropping like if they're dropping little bits now,
They're trying to get us used to it. Yeah.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. What's coming? You know what I mean?
That would be tight though. Like, I don't fear aliens. I think it would be sick.
I got a good poll. if aliens came down and they said, we want to speak to one human, who are we sending?
Kanye.
Okay,
No,
Kanye.
human.
Right, Kanye.
I was going to say Jack Black.
That's actually a good choice.
You know what I mean? Who's
Definitely
our
not Jack White.
representative of the human species?
He's
I don't
a
know.
good rap.
I think we send Joe
Bill
Biden
Murray?
because then they're not intimidated and they just like,
Right.
oh, it's okay.
Oh yeah, they're
Not doing it. They're not doing anything.
I would pay to watch Trump meet the aliens. Like I would pay to watch that.
Honestly, that'd be pretty sick.
Okay. Someone
Yeah.
do a Trump impression better than I can.
Just to watch Trump try and bully the aliens, like that would be fucking awesome.
I know
It doesn't
more
break the
aliens-
handshake.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Handshake.
Yeah, just like two long fingers come over to shake Trump's hand and he won't let go.
Let me tell you about the
Yeah.
space-time continuum.
Yeah,
Just-
aliens were
Just
fucking
ear
but-
open.
We're all missing something here.
What?
I feel like the last 24 hours have been Dante's Super Bowl, and I haven't heard a peep yet.
Oh, Epstein?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anything's gonna happen, sadly. I think it's gonna be
bunch of nothing.
I think it's gonna be a distraction. I think they're gonna throw a bunch of nobodies to the wolves and hope everyone thinks like, okay, that's like checked off. Now we don't have to worry about that anymore.
Be sick if they
Dante,
just
how do
gave-
you react,
I
honestly?
mean, did you see what they said? They were like, anybody that wants to contest it has 14 days to lawyer up. Every fucking person, that is or isn't on that list that is afraid they're on that list is lawyering up, obviously. So it's gonna be more bullshit.
How do you react if you know somebody on the list? Somebody like Kenny.
Ooh.
What I want to know is,
Are you telling us
why
something,
hasn't-
Robbie?
No,
I'm just
What
saying,
else,
how do you-
friend?
He's on the podcast, or if Johnny's on the list, like, are you like, we're cutting ties with the podcast? We're done?
Gregor's on the list. Robbie's upset.
like, how hasn't Anonymous acquired this and leaked this already?
Yeah.
Good question. They
'Cause they're
seem to
on
get
it.
everything.
Everybody's on it.
Maybe they're on it.
I'm
Dude,
just saying, are they talking?
What if that'd be the ultimate like plot twist if Anonymous was in on the whole
Yeah.
thing themselves.
Oh,
Are they talking
what?
about like? Are they talking about client list, like client list, or like financial client? Because he did a bunch of different things. I don't know if it's a gray area or not.
Right, I know. That's the thing. Like here, like everybody and their mother was going to that island.
Right.
I would imagine that there are people that had been there that had no that had no
100%, 100%.
That's like
And
Chris
they're
Tucker
probably
flew
shit-
on the Chris Tucker flew on the plane for a mission to Africa. That was why he was on the plane.
So it's like I don't know what it means. That's what I'm saying. It's all gray area.
Right,
Like,
right.
what's it really gonna do?
Bro,
It's
it'd
a
be so-
threshold thing. Like once you can be like, okay, maybe it's a coincidence. Someone's flying on it 35 times. Or
Right.
whatever,
Johnny, you sound like you're making it. It's like I only flew to the island with kids
here's
once. Like,
Here's
relax.
my thing. Back in like 2012 or something, he got convicted of something like pedophilia or
Oh, yeah.
something. And I want to know who was, at that island after that conviction, because everybody knows. Like, if you're a Clinton or a Musk, the company you keep and who's convicted of what and who's dirty where. So I want to know who was there after that conviction. That's all.
Who would be the
I'm
name?
beginning to think that the people that have run the earth forever might not be great guys.
Turns out.
Let's tie this together. Who do we think Epstein number one? If his favorite band was?
Oh, that's a great.
Not that band anymore.
Butthole Surfers. Butthole Surfers. I'm trying to think.
Don't make me like him.
He
Loves Kanye. 100%. He loves.
No,
Kanye.
he strikes me as like he's a rave guy. I don't know how else to
I
put
thought
it.
he is he a parrot head? Is he a Buffett guy? Not to
Oh,
throw his name in the
man.
list.
That actually
He
makes
was a
sense.
Buffett guy.
How sick would it be though if the list came out and it was just Dante's name? Dante was the only like all the blogs he's written on Barstool. They were just like, all right, the only name we found was Dante Deanna, and he's been
Dude.
there 47 times.
Dude, I haven't fucking written shit compared to Jerry. Jerry fucking gets everything he wants off. I was so pumped when I saw that yesterday. I was like, hell yeah. I never in a million years would my blog have got published. But Jerry,
Who's the most shocking person that could be on that list? Like a name that you saw, you'd be like, they
I mean,
went to
I already
Epstein's Island?
I was already shocked like RFK Jr.'s on it. I mean, that's a guy who I thought had some fucking character. Apparently not. I mean, if you hung around with that guy,
Taylor Swift.
Bro, that would be wild.
The world would fucking end.
That's why she has that private jet, dude. She's been making trips to Little Saint.
Timelines don't line up.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that. That was a real suspicion.
Well, here's one. Like, they're pretty fucking powerful couple. Jay-Z, Beyonce.
That wouldn't shock me whatsoever.
They're on it. They're on the list.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay, it makes kind of sense. They're
the number one name that would shock me would be Tim Tebow. If Tebow was on the Epstein Island list, that would shock me.
I love a Tebow. Don't do that to me.
He's my favorite person. I love Tebow. I got 2 of his books sitting over here, dude. I love Tebow.
Poor Tebow.
Where did we get? How did we get here?
I don't
All
know.
right, fellas. I have to
tip big things this year. I wanted to say this.
Dave, hold on real quick. Dave, Merry Christmas, buddy. Have a good day, all right?
Merry Christmas to you guys. I love you all equally. Album of the year, first one that came to my head was Rodrigo. Worst album of the year. I didn't like Blinks. It was that. It's not the worst of the year. It's like the most underwhelming to me personally because I wanted to love it. Person we most want on the pod, I think we have our eyes set for Dave Grohl in 2024.
That's my pick.
I think it's absolutely fucking doable considered who we've had on this show.
Grohl is my pick. Great fucking move. Dave, we're aligned.
I love it, Dave. Shoot high.
Fuck
Hard
it.
Aim
Dave's
for the
new
stars.
nickname.
Playing on the moon.
Dave's new nickname, Hard Out.
Guys gotta go eat oysters, bro. Go eat oysters.
Out, Dave. Leave.
All right, see you guys.
Love you, Dave.
Why don't we
fucking finally, dude? I hate that guy.
Why don't we start there then? Because Dave already said it. Who do we most want on the podcast in 2024? Like dream guess, because I got 3. And Grohl is 1. Grohl is the one I feel like we actually have a shot. I don't know why. What's that? What'd you say, pussy?
Is that R. Kelly?
Yeah, I'll do R. Kelly.
Out of the story,
dude. That is really funny because I was gonna put this in the group. We have Rustin Kelly coming on, who I love, huge Americana artist. And the first question I want to be is just ask just introduce him as R. Kelly, like just see what he does. He seems in on the joke though. He's cool. Yeah. So I got Grohl. I got Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne is still right up there for me. I want Wayne so fucking bad.
Yeah.
My pipe dream, and the only person we've been turned down for blatantly is Springsteen. I know it's not going to happen. I don't give a fuck. I am
not doing the 12-hour podcast. So.
Blow me, dude. You can fucking come in and come out. I don't care. Springsteen's 3. Weirder shit has happened. Let's make it happen. And his PR agent was so nice. He was like, "This seems great, guys, but no." I was like, "All right, cool. We'll see, buddy. We'll see." I want Springsteen on. I'll just cry for 4 hours.
What makes Johnny think it would be a 12-hour podcast?
Because his
songs are like 6 hours long, each of them.
His concerts are 4 hours.
Let me tell you
long.
this story like fucking 3 years later. Come on, Bruce.
Fuck you. Do you guys have anybody you like very, very specifically want on? Like, just put it out in the universe. What's the worst thing that's going to happen?
I want T-Pain. I've said this before. I think I said it last year because I want to be like, when can we put our song out?
Yeah, put our song out. Yeah.
He has new music coming out. It could happen. And he does a lot of streams and shit. And he's done Sunday Conversation. So he's done stuff with Barstool before. Why not?
Did pizza reviews and stuff. Yeah, came out at a pop punk show.
Let's make
I
it.
think it was at that one. That was East Carolina. It was a fun time.
I
wrote down Green Day. Green Day's got a new album out
would
next
be
year.
Fucking dude, that would be another one I would probably cry. I that's my childhood. I fucking love Green Day. By the way, new music's not bad either.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Listen, can I say that not bad and pretty good are not great?
Fuck you.
No, I like that new track. Is it Saviors? It's like the heaviest Green Day song I've heard in years.
Yep.
It's like almost like Hitching a Ride Part 2.
Which
I just
love.
bought a Kerplunk t-shirt.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Great album cover.
It's better than
the flower plant. Yeah.
It's better than Father of All Motherfuckers. I'll tell you that much. It's better. It's better than Father of All Motherfuckers. Kenny, anybody you like really want on the pod next year?
I still really want to make sure we get Killer Mike. I'd be really fucking pumped on that. Dave Grohl's way up there. I'd love to get Zach De La Roca on some shit. I mean, fuck, there's so many. It could go forever. You know what I mean?
Creed.
Give me fucking Kendrick. Give me Creed. I'd be fucking stoked on a Creed. Give me a Lit. You know what I mean?
Yo, yes. Well, we
I still like whatever about Blink, but like I would love to have those dudes on at some point.
How about Dave dropping that and just leaving?
I know. I mean, I could see being I loved it, but I could see being underwhelmed. Calling it the worst of the year is banana land.
Yeah, I was underwhelmed.
Hard out, Dave.
I wasn't whelmed at all. It was what I wanted it to be. It was a simple Blink album.
What I was more excited for this year for Blink was the videos of the live shows.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Good for them playing fucking arenas, sounding great, having huge shows, all this shit. Like, especially after Mark's ordeal, like whatever about the record, it was underwhelming to me. But just watching the videos of that tour made me so happy to be a Blink fan.
That to me was one of the themes of the year, though. And like, if we're looking at 2023 as a whole, I still think it was
positive.
Yeah, Kenny was positive. All you got to do is fucking bring up Blink.
Shit.
There you go. Love it.
Oh, see, live shows, baby. Live shows get me. That's where I get got.
Look at that. Like, one of my themes for the year of 2023 was the return of like music. I don't know how to put this, but like 2023 to me will be remembered as the year that the bell curve hit where hip hop started falling down. Hip hop has started to lose steam. And then the Americana, more folk shit. Like, think of this as like 2011, 2012, where Mumford & Sons and the Lumineers started to go up. You're watching that fucking pattern happen again, and the Noah Kahans and the Zach Bryans of the world started taking over the charts. Cardi B was tweeting yesterday about why the fuck is country music so popular. You're watching it happen in real time, and hip-hop's hit a stagnation period, is what it is.
Good thing. I can tell you why country music is so popular right now.
Trump?
And it also leads me into who else I want to get on the podcast.
Trump?
Laura Trump. Her fucking cover of Tom Petty's song is why country music is exploding right now. And I'd love to talk to her about her thought process behind that.
Shut the fuck up, dude. But no, I think that's my takeaway for the year. I think EDM music had a huge fucking year. Huge year. You're looking at these shows that like EDM artists are doing. John Summit just fucking sold out a stadium in LA. That's insane to me. We were talking to that guy in a green room in a fucking 1,500 cap room like a year ago, and he's selling out stadiums now.
Dante's the only EDM artist that I care about.
Me too, buddy. Me too. Hip hop's hit a stagnation period. It was a year of underwhelming albums. I'll be completely honest. There really wasn't that much that fucking stuck with me. I think the classic pop punk shit with the When We Were Young Fest kind of bands, when we talked to Yellow Card, one of the first things they said is, we don't know why we're so popular right now. That is still pumping right now. And I think that the new wave emo shit is kind of starting to fall away. Go ahead, Kenny.
I am a When We Were Young Fest fan. All those bands are the bands I grew up with. It's funny that every year when that festival comes around, there's like, oh my God, so-and-so's back. They're blowing up. Well, then the festival comes and goes, and then
yeah, I know.
To the fucking ether they go again, like a Yellow Card.
Hey,
you know what's also funny about that fest is the ticket prices. You know, I understand that we don't get this as often as we used to, but it's like $400 to get into that. And it's like, you know, they used to tour with that, and it was $20 to get in, and it was called Vans Warped Tour. Yeah.
Yeah, but all those fans now are fucking Emmy nominated, diamond certified rich guys, you know?
Well, yeah, it's everybody who used to go to Warped Tour now are credit card hippies and can spend, you know what I mean? So we can go spend $400.
And you're getting them all in one, and you're getting all, I mean, this go around is I love that they're switching it up and doing this album concept. I think that could really have legs in terms of touring, you know, that we see going forward.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, think about it. Besides like Springsteen and U2, what other acts do you know have done a tour where they're just centering around like a single album?
That's it. I mean, do like anniversary things, but yeah, you usually got to wait for like a 10-year.
We're not supposed to do disaster pieces start to finish, which is an interesting thing.
I mean, like Roger Waters is the first one that comes to the mind with me touring the wall and shit like that. But
Alt J this year did their first record, their debut record, start to finish on a whole like fucking 26-week tour or something crazy.
That's awesome.
Fire. But yeah,
I saw them at Lollapalooza a few years ago. I'd never seen them live before. They had one of the bigger crowds. I was shocked, and for not a energetic, high energy show, they played really fucking well. It was cool.
Kill it, dude. They're so good. If you sit at front of house at an Alt J concert smoking a blunt man, it's a religious fucking experience.
It sounds like you've done that before. That's a very
Sounds like a very
example.
specific experience. Yeah.
I have, and it's fucking awesome.
Kenny's like, if you're like a 5'8" Asian dude smoking a blunt in an all-day show, like, you know, I hung out with those guys one time. Cool dudes. I like those guys.
Yep.
All right, so
what you got, Johnny?
How to write an Alt J song? If I played you that,
yeah, you played that before. Play it real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
Get your fucking head.
This is how Alt J makes music.
Oh yeah,
Watch.
great.
Butt, put it in my butt, put it in my, put it up, put it in my butt, put it in my butt, put it up, put it in my butt, put it up, put it up, put it up, put it up now. Butt, put it in my butt, put it in my, put it up.
He's eating sweat.
What the hell is this?
Let it go. Let it go. This is great.
Can it put it right now? But put it up, put it in my butt, put it up, put it up, put it in my butt, put it up, put it up, put it in my butt, put it up, put it up.
Podcasting at its finest.
It's accurate. It's so fucking accurate.
It's really accurate. It's really fucking accurate.
I know that they're eating King's Hawaiian sweet rolls.
Hell yeah, brother. Let's go into some of the best of 2023. Best and worst. We'll do best album to start. Like, just for you, what the best album of the year was. Like I said, I don't think there was a lot of albums that are going to stick from this year. I don't think this was an overwhelmingly great year. I don't think there's a lot of memorable shit that really happened this year. It's sad. Like when you have something like a Travis Scott Utopia, which I said from Jump Street, completely underwhelming. People waited years for this. It was okay. Nobody talked about it 3 weeks after it came out.
It was terrible.
Okay, good. I'm glad somebody else said it so I don't get attacked by 12-year-olds online. For me, my album of the year, Jesus Christ, Weather Vanes by Jason Isbell. I've been saying this all year. It, to me, was his second best record. He's my favorite Americana artist. I love Isbell. He hates Barstool, so this makes it very, very weird because I know I'll never get him on the podcast. I don't give a fuck. I still love him.
Why does he hate Barstool?
I don't know, dude. He's an over the top left wing guy, like scary left wing guy to the point where he like can't listen.
I
to
don't think you can
funny.
be heavily left wing like that kind. If you won't like talk to someone and make good Americana music, that's like not possible because Americana is about fucking inclusiveness and openness. So
you haven't. Have you been alive in 2023, buddy?
No, I'm talking idealistically. I know.
Weather Vanes is incredible. It's a perfect album in my eyes for this year. I thought it was a really great job. Dave Cobb produced it. Just fucking great work. His vocals were incredible. Cut live. Really great record. Past that, I didn't have like anything else that like really. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out. Nas and Hit Boy finished their 6-album cycle. They had King's Disease 3 and Magic 3. Both great records. Hit Boy was huge this year. Nas continues to be unbelievable. Almost 50 years old. Those are my two things I wanted to shout out. Robbie, we'll go to you. What was your album of the year?
So my album of the year, it feels like I feel bad picking a specific me choice. It's not as mainstream a choice as I'd like to pick, but Tell Me I'm Alive by All Time Low. All Time Low is my favorite band. This one was like a cool 60-40 blend of pop punk, where they lean a little bit more on pop on the production side here. There's still punk stuff on the album that'll make people excited, but I thought that was awesome. I actually liked a lot of albums this year. For as far as like pop punk goes, Pop Mulligan put out an awesome album this year. Knuckle Puck put out an awesome album this year. There were a lot. Wilhelm Scream, was it this Amel and the Sniffers? Did they have a new one this year? There's been a lot of good like punk stuff. There's been a lot of good hardcore stuff. I kind of like dipped my toes into hardcore this year more than I ever have.
Hardcore. This is a good year for hardcore.
Good year for hardcore. Like crazy amount of live shows, festivals where the crowds are massive, like absolutely.
What's fucked up about
Oklahoma
music?
Or something?
You know what's fucked up about hardcore music is that for whatever reason, that genre, bands come and go, they die so fast that every time I find a new hardcore band, I'm like, these guys are fucking sick. They broke up 8 years ago. You're like,
but that's kind of cool. Like when something burns hot and is like, it's like when TV shows do 2 good seasons and just leave on top instead of fucking dragging it out.
Drain's new record this year.
Yes, Drain is awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna get them in the office next year. I already talked to the singer.
Please come. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Ken, you have to understand the reason they all break up so quickly is because they all have to go back to their jobs selling etnies. You know what I mean? Like they have to go back to their either that or their warehouse jobs where they're all.
I work at Foot Locker.
Exactly. Yeah.
Etnies are a great shoe, by the way.
Like
What are you doing? Kickflips on the side, dude? What are we doing?
No,
more
just
of an
even
America
walking, dude. They make some casual sneakers that are very comfortable.
I was poor when I was a kid, so we didn't have Etnies. We had Airwalks, which were the
Yeah.
the Kohl's version of Etnies. Oh
Yeah.
man, I fucking smash Airwalks, dude.
I had some Airwalks.
Airwalks were sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Remember Fat Farms?
No.
Oh man, you guys weren't poor. You guys weren't out here smashing Airwalk or
all that like mid 2000s generation of fucking skate shoe, Lakai, America. Why were all the shoes like this?
Osiris shoes.
Osiris.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
what
I
I was
had a pair of
thinking about.
Osiris.
Everyone who wore Osiris's also smoked cigarettes and also wore like Cookie Monster pajama pants. I don't know how to put this. It's
Bead
very-
bracelets.
It's a very specific form of white trash that we're rocking fucking
Long live
Osiris's,
Chad
dude.
Muska
Yes, exactly.
and the king.
Dante, your album of the year.
I said it when it came out. I'm very, very disappointed that it got really shafted Grammy nomination wise. I love that 1975 album.
Oh, I forgot
Oh,
about that.
great album.
That's definitely up there for me. I'm putting that on my list.
Came out beginning of the year. Was one of the first albums in a long time where every single song on it is listenable and enjoyable. Pretty different direction for them. Has that 80s synth sound to it. I saw the tour live. They performed pretty much every song on it. It's fucking incredible live. You know, I love saxophone. A lot of sax on it. Just unbelievable album. I can't believe that it got no nominations. I wonder if it has anything to do with Maddie Healy's controversial personality and
It's exactly what it is.
antic. I know it's a joke, dude.
It's a fucking joke. Dude, Taylor Swift put a call into the board and she was like, no. And they were like, all right, no Grammys for you. Dante, that's a great poll. I forgot that happened. And I've been talking about it a lot recently. It's a fucking great album.
She had a sit down in the back of a grocer's. That's how she does things.
By the way, correction. It wasn't Ammo and the Sniffers. It was Scal put out an EP this year. That's awesome.
See, I'm glad you came on because I would have completely skipped all those records. And I mean, Kenny would have brought up Drain because Kenny loves Drain, but the hardcore and pop punk scene really did have a big year. Dante, I can't believe you didn't bring up the Skrillex record.
I mean, there were a few really good songs on it that I liked, but I mean, Skrillex is Skrillex for a reason. He's always pioneering the new sound. So it sounds completely different. I get that. I get that he's not going to sound like he did, 7 years ago, but part of me is still so in love with Skrillex 7 years ago that I wish that he gave us a little taste of that, and he didn't.
It's fair. It's very modern.
I
It's
put
very
that
what's
song
going on
Rumble as my song for the year because do you
so
have
good.
any idea how hard this was for me to find stuff from this? I had to go sort my library by release date. I was like, okay, 2023. I got 4 things added. That Rumble track with Fred again and Skrillex, I really like that. The production on it is fucking incredible. Like, I don't know how they got that bass to do what it does. Like, I can turn my speakers up to 11 and it's loud as fuck, but they're not like moving. Like, it's just something like technically that they did with the bass that's incredible on that.
Everything he does is so clean and pristine. It's unbelievable. Johnny, if you like that, you gotta, obviously you probably heard it, but that In the Ghetto song is another.
I think I have, but I'll go check it out again.
Sample. I mean, he just takes the simplest samples and turns them into these fucking master. I mean, he's incredible. He's seriously incredible.
I'm going through now, and there's I'm looking at a list of records that came out this year. There's a couple that I missed that I'm pretty upset about. Johnny, I don't think we got your album of the year.
That Paul Simon album is called 7 Psalms. It came out. It's just an acoustic album. Remember he released it as like one song, 35-minute, not song, but like you can't skip. And I really loved it. And it was like an old-fashioned music listening experience with no skipping and just listening.
See, and that was a big thing for you. I remember we had like 2 weeks of the podcast where we talked about that. Give it to Paul Simon for doing something unique in 2023. It's pretty impressive, actually. A couple things we forgot about. maybe my song of the year is on an album we forgot about, Paramore. That new Paramore record was fantastic.
On my list.
It's definitely on my list for sure. The News might be my song of the. I love that song so much.
Great song. There's a couple of songs that are up there.
It's a fantastic record for a band that continues to do cool things every time they put new music out.
What I love about that record is that I feel like it's this is a weird comparison, but it was like the Used second record to me, where you get a little bit of the nostalgia, a little bit of the thing that you know them for, but it does evolve in a way that makes sense.
Yes.
And I feel like that Paramore record was a great release, oh, this is a new version of Paramore, but it's still the old, but it's still the new, and it's a little bit more put together and a little bit more adult, and I thought that was cool.
Well, what's amazing about them too is that, they are pigeonholed into this emo pop punk lane, but there's never been two albums where maybe the first two records where they do the same thing again. Like they come and they do After Laughter, and it's like an 80s inspired emo record.
Good to get pigeonholed.
Yeah, but it's just like, and this was rock and roll, but it was the News is something I brought up throughout the years. Like, it was Incubus meets fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers meets emo music, and it was very interesting to me. And Haley Williams is just a great songwriter.
I think it's kind of a weird thing. What happens with a lot of bands is they get pigeonholed because of a big song or a big album, and then fans go listen to 4 albums later and then see this radical change and be like, what the fuck? But they don't see the 3 albums that are gradually shifting and evolving as they go along. So you get this warped perspective of artists why'd you change your sound so completely? It's well, we didn't. We kind of got here slowly.
Well, also, Johnny, I feel like a moron not knowing who this was, because we had them on our show this year. Who was the guest that we had that made the point? The first album is the studio's or the label's album, and the second album is the band's album.
Was that?
I know. I remember someone saying that. I can't picture who it was either.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so true. It's why you see a lot of that boomerang effect that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I had 2 more records quickly to talk about that we forgot about. Tyler, the Creator, who's been on a great run, put out a deluxe version with basically 8 new songs on it for Call Me If You Get Lost, called The Estate Sale. And there was just 8 phenomenal songs on the back half of that record that I was really, really, really impressed by. I love him. I think he's one of the most interesting artists out right now. But a record that was on my recap at the end of the year a lot, and I forgot how good this record was Kate Tremine, which is Kate Trinata and Amine, producer-rapper combo. And it was this really cool kind of hip-hop meets Afrobeat meets kind of house music mishmash. It's a record I highly suggest to everybody to go check out. And it got a lot of play this year, but forgotten on those year-end lists. That's fantastic. Can't forget about Danny Brown and JPEG Mafia, Scaring the Hose.
My list.
So good, so gnarly, so raw. Danny put out another record called Quaranta at the end of the year, but Scaring the Hose really was a return to Danny after Atrocity Exhibition, just to be yo, he's here. Danny's really here. He's sober. He's doing a great job. Good for Danny Brown, dude.
That record was on my list. That one, 100 Gex, the 10,000 Gex record. No, here's the thing, right? Do I think it's one of the best records of the year? No. Did it catch me in a way that I was oh, this is fucking interesting? So, I don't know, take that what you will. And then I think my number 1 record of 2023 is the new Andre 3000 flute record.
Yo, New Blue Sun, let's go.
My favorite, dude. I fucking
Kenny, what's your favorite track off? Kenny, what's your favorite track off New Blue Sun?
Dust off that fucking Jupiter. That thing's
yeah, seriously, bro. Jesus. Check those 1/4-inch cables, man. No, yeah, Andre 3000 dropping the surprise banger we didn't know we needed this year with his flute album.
And number 1. He wins.
Number 1 by far. We should put that out just as clickbait.
We should.
Actually, Kenny, can you do me a favor and announce that again? And we should all just be yes, easy number 1. I just want to put that clip out. Can you just say that one more time?
I need to get my flute sound here.
There you go, Johnny. Andre 3000, New Blue Sun. Love it.
Album of the year by far. Just inspired.
Is worse better than all the other records.
Oh man, Jesus Christ. We didn't mention Zach Bryan. I thought it was a good record. It's not as good as American Heartbreak, but it was good. I'm happy for the guy.
I said this a couple weeks ago. It's getting better and better the more I listen to it. also, you know what else is fucking turned into an incredible album is Stapleton's new one.
Oh yeah,
fantastic,
really good.
Dude, I've been listening to it the last like week in the car, and it like, oh my god, the first like fucking 4 songs on it are just I'm trying to guess what his next massive single is going to be, because he's got 3 or 4 of them that are going to be like number ones for sure.
You know what I came across of his recently is he does a live version, I think, with Willie Nelson of "You Were Always on My Mind," the Willie Nelson song, and I love that song. Like, it's kind of over the top, like schmaltzy ballad, but it's fucking incredible, and him singing it is like unreal.
I need to find
when you like listen to that record, you're reminded just how next level he is as a songwriter and a vocalist. Like every year, this guy just consistently puts out album of the year consideration. Like, he's just solid, and nobody can ever contest that. Nobody's ever like overrated. He's doing this, he's doing that. Just like, he's an American standard now. Chris Stapleton has become an American standard.
My favorite track of the year was the American National Anthem by Chris Stapleton at Super Bowl. Like, that was probably the greatest performance I've seen in a long time.
Dude, you know, I check our YouTube stuff every day. We still get comments every day about that fucking clip that we put out where I said that instead of Chris Stapleton doing the national anthem, I'd rather hear Migos. And I get comments every day like, "You anti-American pussy. You need to be shipped off to Guantanamo Bay, you fucking loser. Who are the Migos? This is trash. You're a disgusting piece of shit." And I'm like, do you not realize this is all a joke?
YouTube, they're right, but for the wrong reasons, Colin.
Oh, we need more of that.
You need more of me getting the right riled up because I want Migos?
Yeah.
Shout out Migos, dude. That would be an amazing national anthem. If we can get a Migos national anthem this year, I should be paid hundreds of thousands of dollars just for putting that out into the ether. I would love
Can you
that.
imagine whoever's going to get tapped to do the anthem next year just being like, "No, I'm not following that."
Yeah, and this year's national anthem done by Sis Capleton. It's just Chris Stapleton in glasses and a big nose. And did we have once again going through the list this year? Was there a song of the year? Was there a song of the summer? I can't think of anything that jumps off my head. Maybe it's that fucking Ice Spice song, "Boy's a Liar." I feel like that was a huge song for the youth. But
I feel like there was that song. I'm not saying this was my song, but there was that song that Selena Gomez was on. It's an African artist. It's a pop song. Like, globally, I think it was up there. It's like billion streams sort of thing. I can't even remember the name, but
I know what it is.
Bro, speaking of Africa, that Tyler song is up there for me, dude. Water is an unbelievable song.
Yeah,
I can't
cool.
say. Yeah,
did you see that link I sent you of all like the kind of original stuff that she's not like stealing it? It's like that's where she's coming from, but it's like the kind of like more, what's the word? Like original or kind of less popified version of that. Checked out those links I sent you. They're cool.
The song of the year, I'm going to say it, and you're going to say, "Fuck, you're right."
Is it Dua Lipa?
No, it's "Fast Car" by Luke Combs.
That's not fair, though.
That song was on every country and mainstream radio station every 10 minutes all fucking year long.
I'm not arguing that. And by the way, he did a fantastic job. It's just hard for me to like. The Tracy Chapman version is ubiquitous. It's the best. Like,
personally, I think the song of the year should have been Miley "Flowers."
Great song.
Oh yeah, that was a great song.
We forgot about the Miley Cyrus album.
I thought that was the song of the year, but that kind of got forgotten about after summer.
Yeah, no, and it was a huge smash. It was everywhere. I hear it all. That's great department store music. You walk into Target, and fucking Flowers is always on. Like, it's great inoffensive flower. You know what I'm talking about. Get the fuck out of here.
That's what I have for is retail alt rock.
Yeah, that's all we're aiming for, brother. Robbie, what were you gonna say?
I have "Under You" by the Foo Fighters.
Dude, I was just literally gonna say that song.
Yeah. So that's like an unapologetic, old school 2000s rock song from the Foo Fighters, old sound and like genuinely heartfelt lyrics about losing a loved one.
that was me and you were texting about that. So the first time I was running through that, I was at the gym doing pull-ups, listening to that song, just geeked out of my mind.
Oh, look at this guy doing
I was
pull-ups.
geeked out of my mind on pre-workout going, this is the greatest song I've ever heard in my entire life.
Awesome,
I've never heard anything better. This is the best.
I also
agree.
wanted to shout out Heartbreak of the Century by Neck Deep. They put it out back in February, so it's been a while. It's a song with a bass solo in the bridge that's fucking awesome.
Ooh.
And they have a new album out. It's going to be on their new album next month, January. So should be good.
Oddly enough, I actually think the song of the year probably is a song that came out in 2023, but Stick Season by Noah Kahan did huge things for his career and was everywhere. I actually really don't like the song that much. I like a lot of his other shit, but it was big enough to get this dude from Vermont who got famous on TikTok to do SNL 2 weeks ago. That's pretty amazing. It's a white woman anthem right now. It really, like, every girl you see in a flannel is just tweeting about that song. We haven't mentioned Drake. We haven't gone into most underwhelming.
No, you don't spoil it. We almost made it.
We're gonna talk about the most underwhelming albums of the year.
Okay, that's fine.
I have two that jump out, and they're both hip hop albums. I got the Drake album. I've gotten enough online hate for my entire life I'll ever need for saying For All the Dogs was a pile of dog shit. I thought it was terrible. The song with Bad Bunny where he's singing in Spanish is atrocious. It was bad.
Can I ask you a genuine question? I'm going to pretend like I'm an alien. And I understand that Drake is like always top 3 streaming artists or even one. Who actually likes Drake? Like what is his demographic? Because I can't picture the people that actually like hip hop liking him. To me, I swear to God, I'm not like trying to talk shit. He really just sounds like this really corny impression of hip hop to me.
Picture a 16-year-old white kid with a vape standing outside of somewhere, with like really baggy clothes on, and he says like things like "on God" a lot, like, you know, like just like very like
that's pretty accurate.
And that's what I think of when I think of Drake. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's a billion of these people.
At least, bro. At least.
Apparently, yeah. YP is the only like Drake fan that I've truly met. Obsessed with Drake, OVO, going to the releases, the drops, the sample sales. And yeah,
I've been like that in the past. Like when I guess I was in college and Nothing Was the Same came out. I was like, this dude is unbelievable. Like, he's the best.
I just typed in worst albums of 2023. Number 1 is Drake, For All the Dogs.
There it is. I am validated, brother. Let's go. I genuinely think it was atrocious, and I think it has a lot to do with what you're seeing in rap now. I think
I heard another one. Think it was that. I thought his last one, not the 21 Savage one, the one with
honestly, never mind.
Pregnant dad.
Emojis.
Yeah, I think that was way worse.
Yeah, but it comes with the expectations. It's just like against the expectations of what it's supposed to be. That was a fucking.
And the dance one he did before that.
The dance one, yeah, I was saying like that to me, like the dance record we all got on, and Dante said it was his most disappointing album of the year before. Like, but that was a departure. He was trying something. I'll give him at least that. This was he phoned this shit the fuck in.
Same with that fucking Jack Harlow record. Like I remember
I like that album.
The buzz and hype, the fucking shit, and blah blah blah. I listened to it the day it came out, and you're like, I mean, you know,
30 Seconds to Mars is on the list. Let's go. Fuck you, Jared.
This is just a fucking website.
How is Steel Panther even on? I'm on the same site.
We forgot about Post Malone. I didn't think that was that bad of an album.
It's forgettable, though.
Forgettable was
that was one I listened to it the night it came out, and I never went back to it.
The theme of 2023 was forgettable. When it comes to albums in 2023, the theme was forgettable. All the heavy hitters put out music. Drake, forgettable. Post Malone, cute, forgettable. Like nothing stuck. Nothing stuck.
Honestly, I'll go with my most underwhelming, and it's not a bad album at all, but it's forgettable, and that's why it's on there. And the first single was so fucking good that it made me so excited. Fall Out Boy's album, So Much for Stardust. It's fine, and there's a couple songs on it where I'm like, holy shit, this is some fucking vintage Fall Out Boy. But for the most part, I think there's like 18 tracks on it.
That's exactly how I feel.
Out of the 18, I'm like,
that's exactly how I feel about the Blink record. Same about that Fall Out Boy record. You're like, it's fine, it's good, sounds great. And there's some bits that like you get old Blink and shit, but you're like, just kind of was hoping for more.
But here's the question.
I should probably just record what I'm about to say so I can just play it every time we have this conversation because I feel like a broken record. But like, it's a problem of volume. You cannot put out this much music and expect like it's forgettable because like who can remember out of 4 million songs a year, you know?
And that's the question is, and once again, we've been doing this podcast now for 3 years. So we have backlog data and backlog conversations to say we've been having this conversation a lot. Is it the music or is it the consumer? And are we just trained differently now that we can't retain this shit? So there's the real question and the real, because every year I'm getting more and more pulled into this is all dog shit. We are at the end of times. What are we doing?
So you're also getting old. But to what Johnny said, yes, 100%. It's hard to do that with the amount of songs that come out, but there are a few bands that like I have confidence in that they can do it, and that leads me to like the new music, right? That I'm looking forward to the next year. The new Green Day record, right? Like I feel like they're a hard band to like let you down. A new Slater Kinney record, a new Sonic Youth record, new MGMT records coming. Honestly, here's a weird one. You know what I'm excited for? This is, I don't know, maybe this is cheesy, maybe this is not. The new Sum 41 record.
Yeah. His singles are good.
Derek's fucking comeback, right? And how he's performing right now and how he sounds right now live is unbelievable. And this new record, they released 2 songs from it, and there is full metal, screaming Metallica riffs, like old school Sum 41, but like more polished and also heavier, and kind of excited for that one.
It's their final album too. They announced like after this, like they're disbanding for the moment. So they'll be back.
For my news music that I'm looking forward to hearing, this kind of ties into the point we're making about too much music, is that Belgian artist Stromae, who had kind of a big moment this year. I was just looking up his discography.
His what?
His dick. I was looking up his discography. So he put out an album in 2010. Then he put one out in 2013. The next one was the one last year, 2022. So I don't think we're going to get music from him next year. And I'm looking forward to that, because then maybe 6 years from now, we'll have another great album. And like everyone can't afford to do that. Like he had a massive album and he kind of did the right and morally acceptable thing and just waited till he had another fucking album worth. But you know, everyone else, like myself included, I gotta put out fucking 30 songs just so Drake doesn't drown me.
Yep. My albums that I'm really looking forward to, we're getting a new Idols album, and they're doing a lot of collaboration with LCD Sound System. So it's this really heavy Cockney English band mixed with James Murphy and his brain. The first single was called Dancer that came out, and I really loved it. I thought I was going to hate it. I really loved it. For an older band that I want to hear new music from, I want a new Jesus, it just fucking left my brain. I don't know how that just happened.
I think we're getting
Robbie, we can all get there. That's a fucking pipe dream.
I think we're getting a new Tame Impala record next year.
I'm in for that. Although the last record was okay. It was okay. Not Currents, the one after Currents.
Oh, I know. The 2020 record, not Currents, the newest one, I thought was fucking, it wasn't as good as Currents.
Right, exactly.
All right, but that's tough to be okay, this record's not good because this one was better. You're like,
it was a classic, yeah.
I remember the one that I was talking about. Motion City Soundtrack. I would love to hear if we're doing these bands that are from that era. It's one of my most underrated bands of all time. Justin Courtney Pierre, unbelievable songwriter. I love that band. I need to see them live. I want a new J. Cole album. That's because Off Season was unbelievable, and he's got, like, in his words, 2 albums left in his career. Bullshit. But he's been on fire, doing amazing.
Got 2 albums left, but 35 mixtapes. You know what
exactly. I mean? Yeah. And then the comeback. Exactly. And then Kenny, cover your ears for a second. Do it. I want to see you physically cover your ears. I want a new John Mayer album. I didn't like Sob Rock at all. I thought it was a cool period piece to do the 80s. Exactly. Get the fuck out of here. I want a new John Mayer album, and I want to see if he like deviates and does something weird the way he did with Born and Raised in Paradise Valley and stuff like that. So I'd be interested to see where he goes next, especially with Dead and Company disbanding. But don't kill yourself, Kenny. Dante, your artist you most want to hear new music from next year?
I mean, you said
Art and Garrix.
You said LCD Sound System, and I mean, that just got my pants moving. So
his penis is hard, dude.
They are the fucking best, man.
Yep.
They could drop a new album / go on tour, it would make my whole year.
I think LCD is top 10 for me all time. I think
All My Friends is my favorite song of all time.
it's fucking and when you did the live show is the best live show I may have ever seen. It's fucking
nothing else like it.
That's a song that like that's a movie. All My Friends is a literal like coming of age movie in 6 minutes. And if I'll bring this back up again. If I'm geek out on enough pre-workout and I'm running and that song comes on, I will almost cry on a treadmill. I'm not lying. Like,
dude, we love a gray-haired, out-of-shape old guy making fucking funky-ass tunes.
Just a fat loser on stage.
I feel like Colin doing pre-workout and then like doing pull-ups to Radiohead or something. It's like if you could summarize what Barstool Backstage is, it's that. It's like this. It's the weirdest fucking combo of shit. That's kind of cool.
Just a weird kind of douchey bro who at the same time will pontificate about the songwriting structure. Yeah. That's me in a nutshell, dude. So I go into songwriting sessions and people are like, this guy's going to talk about fucking Eagles secondary from 2017 and how it impacts what we're doing today. And I'm like, have you guys ever thought about the way that McCartney really used to layer his harmonies? They're like, what the fuck is going on, dude? Welcome to my brain. Robbie, what are you looking forward to in 2024?
So I mentioned Neck Deep and Green Day are both putting out an album on the same day next month. But also yesterday we got a random tease from Liam Gallagher, my guy, and John Squire. And the rumor is that Liam Gallagher and John Squire of the Stone Roses have recorded an album together.
What?
And it's like a collab album coming out next year. First single and music video, I think, is rumored to be coming out first week of January. John Squire's written some of the dirtiest, nastiest guitar riffs of all time. So that sounds amazing to me.
Damn, that's like not what anybody asked for because all they want is Oasis to get back together. It's like Noel's like, hey, listen, you're never going to get Oasis, but here's this weird 90s supergroup from England. Let's do that. I'd be in for it, though.
Are you talking about Squire as in The Stroke?
Yeah.
No, that's Billy Squire. That's Billy Squire.
No, Billy Squire. Billy Squire.
I want that album though. Give me Oasis / Billy Squire. Just watch fucking Billy Madison pull up in a fucking T-top. Yeah.
I think it's Liam basically being like, if Noel won't get back together with me, I'll make a band with his idol.
That's awesome. And dude, that is like every English person's dream because the Stone Roses are like fucking gods in England. Yeah, they never really
inspired Oasis like as much as the Beatles did, I think. Yeah. Even though the Oasis is always the Beatles knockoff, whatever, they're also kind of a Stone Roses knockoff.
100%. They just did it better than them. You know what I mean? Like, really what it is.
Dude, we're getting a new Redman record in 2024?
No, that's fire though.
Yo, Frank, dude, has anybody ever had a better MTV Cribs than Redman?
Do you remember Chris Pontius?
Shaq was good. Shaq was really good.
Shaq was good. The Chris Pontius one where it was just like a like an old truck. that was great. I want Cribs to come back, but I feel like it would be so lame nowadays.
I think it did. Yeah, it's back currently. Yeah, and it is lame.
I want
my streaming camera.
Yeah, exactly. Here's my 13 ring lights so I can do my vlogs. No, Room Raiders is the greatest TV show on MTV in history where they would just pull people into a van and then a girl would walk in and be like, this guy's room's really messy. Oh no, here's a giant box of porn. Yeah. Who would have known? Is this a handgun? What are we doing here? What are these anal beads doing? Those aren't mine. Yeah, Room Raiders is the best. Anything else to cap off 2023? Is there any like one word answers to what 2023 was?
Music.
Robbie, I think that's the only word that we can't use. Music was not the one thing I would think about in 2023.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
Tell you what, I thought festivals were good in 2023.
Good point. Very good point.
Very like a lot of festival lineups you see, and it's like, I don't know anyone on this. People complain about the lineups. I thought there were a lot of good festivals.
A lot of good festivals, a lot of good lineups, a lot of good tours, even just headlines.
Yeah.
A lot of good runs.
Oh, we didn't mention the word Taylor Swift once.
Good.
That was pretty cool.
Well, now you did.
Kind of. Yeah, whatever. But we forgot to mention, remember when Frank Ocean fucked up Coachella?
Oh, yeah. Who stepped in? Kanye?
No, Frank like wanted to build an ice rink on the stage, and then
I remember, but who stepped in for him? Was it just Blink took over his spot?
Blink took over his spot the first weekend. Yeah. The second weekend he did it, and just did it. It was a terrible set, and people got really, really mad. So that was just a wild thing that happened. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for 2024, regardless of what I just said. And look at the bright side. At least 2023 was the last year before the great American Civil War of the 2024 election that is what's going to happen. So enjoy it while we can, boys, before we're all in our underground Kanye bunkers.
Who's running this year?
Who the fuck knows, dude?
I don't think either of them should run. They're both super old, so that'd be a strenuous activity.
Listen to me, Joey Bags should not be running, and old Donnie J, he already had his turn, and we see how that went. RFK 2024, let's go. Let's get weird. Let's get real weird. Vaccines are turning all the fish gay. I don't know, dude. let's go full in, dude. I don't give a fuck. I don't think we have to go any further. I think that was enough. Let's end the year on the Modest Yahoo interview. God, that's a fucking weird way to go into a great interview. 2024 is going to be a great year for us. I'm really excited for the podcast. We have some really great things in the works. Huge guests to start the year off. Just some really cool, I guess, business opportunities that could be materializing. I don't know, dude. I'm fucking pumped. Guys, how do we feel?
Pumped.
Under 10 episodes that White Sox Dave is on in 2024.
Under.
Yeah.
Smashing the
over, but he's gonna have a hard out on all of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you add up all the time that Dave's been on the podcast, it'll equal less than 10 episodes.
Not White Sox Dave anymore. He's hard out Dave.
Hard out Dave. Hard on Dave. All right, great year, boys. Let's cap it off with our interview. The legend, Modest Yahoo. Great job, guys. Robbie, I told you 1:30 you'd be out, dude.
Perfect timing. All right,
Literally
see you, boys.
All right, out of here.
Thanks,
See you guys.
fellas.